Psalm 67. All right, Psalm 67. It's a short Psalms. Let's just start off the class. Psalm 67 and 1.
Read now Psalms chapter 67, verse 1. The Most High be merciful unto us, and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah.
All right, so we see that. So, O Most High, O Yahweh, be merciful unto us, and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. Selah. And that's what we want. We want the Most High to be merciful unto us, to bless us, and to cause his face to shine upon us. All right? And that's what we want at all times. All right? Continue.
Verse 2. That thy way may be known upon earth, thy saving health among all nations. Continue.
Yeah.
Let the people praise thee, O Yahweh. Let all the people praise thee.
Right. And all the people is going to praise the Most High eventually. All right? When we establish in this earth, back into the righteous kingdom, all the people of the earth is going to praise the Most High, beginning with us. All right? All the nations going to praise the Most High. They ain't going to have no choice but to praise the Most High. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. Oh, let the nations be glad and sing for joy. For thou shalt judge the people righteously and govern the nations upon earth.
Right. And the Most High is not governing the nations upon the earth right now. Who's governing the nations upon the earth right now?
The wicked.
Satan.
The devil.
Satan. He's governing the nation. The Most High is not. The Most High is just watching.
That's
He
right.
set Satan up to govern them, and the Most High is just watching. Do your thing, Satan, because your time is going to be up soon. All right?
Short.
So the Most High is going to govern the nations in the future kingdom. The Most High's spirit and his realm and his power and his dominion, his majesty, his glory, his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding is going to be in the earth. The Most High said, like the waters are upon the earth, that's the same with the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High understanding is going to be in the earth, in the future kingdom. Right now the earth is in darkness, gross darkness. All right, go ahead.
Verse 6. Then shall the earth yield her increase.
See, then shall the earth yield her increase. Right now the earth is not really producing right now. The earth is barren. That's why there's so much GMO products being manufactured and produced.
Disease.
Right? And diseases. The earth is not really yielding its full potential like it used to. The earth is cursed right now.
Come.
Even though it might seem like you go into supermarkets, always see fruits, vegetables, like, wow! There could never be a famine in America. You see all these food in the supermarkets, oranges, potatoes, yams, rice. You see abundance of foods, right? But a lot of it is GMO.
That's right.
All right? It's not nutritious food. It seems like it's nutritious. It's not really giving that full potential of the blessing that the Most High put in the food to nourish us. All right? So read that verse again.
Read now the Psalms chapter 67, verse 6. Then shall the earth yield her increase, and the Most High, even our own God, our power, shall bless us.
And the Most High is going to bless us double. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. Yahweh shall bless us, and all the ends of the earth shall fear him.
Check that out. And the Most High shall bless us, and all the ends of the earth shall fear him. All the ends of the earth is going to fear the Most High. Right now, people don't fear the Most High. There's no God. Where is he? If there's a God, where is he? I'm God. I do what I want. I want to be a transgender. I want to change my sex. If there's a God, he will make me what I am. Everybody just totally disrespect the Most High. That book, that's the white man book. Put that book down, brother. We don't want to hear no Bible. I'm building a school for my people. Put that Bible down, brother. I don't want to hear about what you God, what you believe in, and what your God is doing, or who's the chosen people. I'm building a school for my people. You understand? Everybody got a lot of proud, arrogant talk against the Most High and His words.
Gun.
But don't worry, man. The Most High says He's long-suffering, man. The Most High just sit back and He chills and He like, go ahead, talk your foolishness, talk all you want. But when I appear in this earth and show my power, everybody's going to shut down.
Gun.
All right? So I just want to set that and give all praise and glory to the Most High. Praise Him for His mercies, for His wisdom, for His knowledge, for the life, the breath that He has given us to see another day. Because a lot of people haven't seen another day. And that's why the Most High said, if it's the Most High will, we said, you understand? If it's the Most High will, you can't be boasting about what we're going to do, because the Most High have His plans in play. And you might have your own plans, but your own plans never supersedes the Most High plans. All right? That's why the Most High said, man's going are of the Most High. How then shall a man understand his own goings? So you might have your plan. Well, I'm going to do this tomorrow, brother. I got this to do. And the Most High said, wait a minute. I'm going to take your breath away from you, homeboy. What are you talking about? You don't have no power over your breath of life.
Right.
We don't have no... See, man is so prideful and arrogant. Man talk all this crap. This, that. And man can't even control his own breath of the Most High. Take it for 2 minutes.
Right.
If the Most High stopped the air from this earth, all of us would drop dead.
Right. Right.
And ain't a damn thing you could do. But man is so prideful and arrogant. Talk a lot of trash, man. You know? So, but we're gonna move on. So today's class is gonna be a little different. It's gonna be a little different. I might touch on some current events. But today's class is I want to ask a question. What are the 4 different levels of faith? What are the 4 different levels of faith? That's going to be today's class. I'm going to name them. The 4 levels of faith is testing your faith. That's number 1. Your faith had to be tested. Who was tested? What great prophet was tested greatly?
Job.
Job. That's the perfect example. She said Job was a righteous man, but the Most High tested him. All right? So the 4 levels of faith. Number 1 is testing of your faith. All right? Number 2 is to see how real you are. How real you are by your faith, through your actions and through your words. All right? Number 3, the faith of worldliness. Are you still attached to the world? Do you still love the world? The faith is going to be tested by that too. All right? And last, let me see if y'all could guess the last one. What's the last and final of your faith? Of everything that you've went through, what's the final and last test of your faith? Your hand went up.
Application of faith.
That's true. It's true, but it goes much more deeper than that.
It's not what you hope for, is it?
Kind of.
Enduring to the end?
Right.
Kind of. That's part of it too. Yes. Anybody else?
Y'all say works.
The results of your faith. After you went through everything and you passed all the tests, what's the final results of your faith?
Eternal life.
Yeah.
Oh, eternal life.
Right. Your salvation. Your salvation. That's what it's going to come down to. Your salvation. That's the final end results of all the faith that you have. Eternal life and your salvation. Get that salvation of the Most High. There's a lot more, but I just chose those 4 in particular. All right? So, number 1. Let's get the testing of your faith. What scripture do we go to?
Job.
Let's go to the book of James first, then we go to the book of Job. All right? So remember, these are the 4 levels of your faith. All right? And the end result is your salvation. That's what you want. You want to get salvation in the end. You don't want to go through all this here and then in the end, Yahweh Shai said, sorry, I never knew you. You don't want that, man. Depart from me. You don't want that. You want to make your salvation sure. All right? To the end.
Sure. One thing.
You want to obtain that. All right? So it's very important. All right? Because it's good to teach current events and things that's going on, but sometimes we have to get spiritual things too.
Right.
And you have to mix it up too.
Right.
All right? Touching all things in the scriptures. All right? So read the book of James 1:1.
Yeah, figure 1 to 1. Okay. Reading out of the book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of the Most High, and Adawan Hamashiach Yahushai, to the 12 tribes, which are scattered abroad.
All right? See what it was? See, he was a servant of the Most High and Yahushai. All right? And he was sending this letter out to the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad. Go ahead.
Verse 2. My brother, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations.
See, that's the first thing he started off with. When he addressed 12 tribes of saints, it's the first thing he started off with. The testing of your faith. He said, brethren, count it all joy. When you what?
When you fall into diverse temptations.
And that's going to happen. You're going to fall into diverse temptation. And what it says, diverse. There are many different types of temptations. Many different levels of temptations. Money, woman, sex, addiction, hang-ups. It's a whole lot, man. You understand? It's vices, different vices that you had, habits, bad habits. Drugs. It's a lot of things, man. All right? And he said, read a verse again.
Verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations.
See that? All right, go ahead.
Verse 3. Knowing this.
He said, knowing this. He said, know this. It's one thing with our people, man. The prophets and the apostles, when they wrote, they were spiritual. And when they wrote with a passion to let our people know, man. Because even Yahweh Shai said, he told them, he said, listen. He said, behold. Man, when he said behold, you know what behold mean? Listen, check this out. Listen what I'm telling you, man. Behold. Know this. And Yahweh and all the prophets always had, and Most High told Ezekiel the prophet, go drop the word in the house of Israel. That's hip talk. Go drop the word, man. Drop it. And Ezekiel dropped the word in Israel, man. And you know how Israel, when we put our passion and our favorite, we put it in, man. And we do it, man. Even in wickedness. We do it in wickedness. So how much more in righteousness, man?
Right.
All right? So James is saying, know this. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
He said, the trying of your faith worketh patience. It's a lot of patience, man. All right? You have to go through a lot of patience. It takes a lot of patience. Job was a perfect example of that, man. Understand? And Job wasn't a wicked person. Job was righteous. Job blessed his family. He praised the Most High. He did good. Then all of a sudden, he's being afflicted. Job's like, what is this, man? He lost his children. Imagine that. You're losing your family.
Right.
That alone will destroy you.
Right.
Because he prayed for them. He came and said, Job, your children died. You know, that right there just took him. That broke him down. And that was trying of his patience to see if he was going to do what? Curse the Most High. Go against the Most High.
Right.
So the Most High does everything to try your patience to see what you're going to do. You're going to run? You're going to curse the Most High? You're going to say, man, the Most High ain't real, man. You're going to get weak? All right? So that's why I said it's a trying of your patience. It's going to try your patience to see what you're made of. Go ahead.
Knowing this, that the trying of your patience The trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have her perfect work.
See? Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. All right? But let patience have her perfect work. All right? Go ahead.
That ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
So is it impossible to be perfect? No. It's not. It's an everyday thing, a constant working to perfect. All right? Yes.
So we're not supposed to get upset either?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you could get Ephesians 4:20. Go ahead, real quick. Ephesians 4:26. Yeah.
But sin not.
I can deal with it, but I'm not gonna lie.
You could get mad. You think Job didn't get mad? Job was frustrated. Job was like, yeah, you could get mad.
All right.
But don't ever turn your back on the Most High and curse the Most High and say, I ain't gonna say that. Don't ever, like some people say. Hey, you're gonna get mad, you're gonna get frustrated, but hang in there, man. The Most High will never forsake us, man.
Son.
Ephesians 4:26.
Ephesians 4:26. Be angry.
Yeah.
Be ye angry.
That's a natural thing. Ain't nothing wrong. Yeah, how should I get angry? You sure how should I get angry at Zion? He said, how should I say? Because of the hardness of your heart. When he get mad, he went in and tumbled over the table in the church. He whipped them. He got mad. He kicked ASS. All right. Read that verse again.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 4, verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Right. So you could get angry, get mad, but don't let that sun go down on your wrath. Don't let the sun go down. You still mad and carrying that grudge and that anger that you want to take it to a next level. You know what? This ain't finished yet, man. It ain't over yet, man. You just seeing the better part of me. You don't seeing the worst yet, man. Don't take it to the next level. But yeah, you could get angry. There's more to it.
No, that's neither give place to the devil.
And don't give place to the devil. Don't let him come in and say, go ahead, man. I can feel your anger. I can feel it. Go ahead, man. You have a right to be angry. He shitted on you, man. Go get it. Go get what is yours, man. Don't be a chump. Don't be a punk. Go get it.
Remember
The cartoons?
No, not even the cartoon. Remember in Star Wars when the Sith started trying to get Luke to go off?
Yeah.
He said, I feel.
Yeah.
I can feel.
Yeah. You understand? And even in the he used to show in the cartoons, when he used to watch the cartoons, he should show the saint and the devil on the side. Yeah. So he knows what goes on. The wrestle that you goes on in life, man. Those forces are there. The one on the left and the one on the right. Trying to go ahead. And one like, no, don't do it. Have patience. Go ahead, man. He offended you. He did you wrong. You understand? So it's a wrestle. That's why he said, don't let Satan do what? Don't let Satan get the what?
Never give place to the devil.
Don't give him place. Don't let him come in. Because he's always there. Satan is not somewhere far. He's always right there. He doesn't take a break, man. He's constantly waiting. And he's right there.
Could I read this precept real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is on, everybody know this, but this is Ephesians 6:12, just to keep it in the spirit. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
Right, those principalities are there. Those are forces, spiritual forces that's active, ready at any given moment. Go ahead.
Against powers.
Against powers. Go ahead.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
And that's what you're dealing against. The rulers of the darkness of this world, man. All right, go ahead.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Spiritual wickedness in high places that you can't see. They're right there all the time. Those forces are right there. That's why sometimes the Most High keep a veil over our eyes so we can't see what's really going on to certain things. Because if the Most High open our eyes to see the real world, man, we'll go crazy. You'll go crazy. That's why Paul said the Most High put a thorn in his side to buffet him. All right? So that he wouldn't exalt himself. Because Paul came to a lot of revelations. And the Most High said he put a thorn in him to keep him in check. All right? So if the Most High really open our eyes to the real spiritual world, man, we'll bug out. Just like the Most High told Elisha when he was fighting against the Syrians, and they was worrying, and he said, and Elisha told him, he said, don't worry, man. He said, they that are with us are more with us than with them. But they was like, how was that? They couldn't see it. Because the Most High had Elisha's eye open to see the spiritual realm of the angels. You know, right now, if the Most High open our eyes, we'll see the angels around us too, and the demons too. The Most High have angels. Each and every one of us have an angel that look like us. All right, and they're there. They're walking with you, but you don't know it. All right, they keep in record. They give it, reporting back to the Most High.
That's right.
All right, and those angels look just like you. All right, and how do we know that? How do we know the angels look like us?
Ezekiel, first chapter.
But bring it more personal. This is in the scripture. Who knows that scripture?
What, Genesis?
That's one too. But remember in the book of Acts, when Peter was in prison, and while he was in prison, he went to one of the sister house and he knocked on the door.
Yes.
And she said, "That's Peter." But Peter was in jail. But how did she see Peter? Because that was his angel. All right, let's get that real quick. Yeah. All right, let's go to the book of Acts.
Actually.
Yeah. She thought it was Peter, but that was his angel. All right. Let's get that real quick.
9 or 10?
What's the thing in Acts?
It's 12, I think.
12, okay.
Yeah, 12.
Right.
I was reading that last night. It's crazy.
All
Yeah,
praise the
Acts
Spirit.
12.
Yeah, it's Acts 12.
12 and what?
Let's start from
13.
12, right.
Oh, yeah. Should I start from 12?
start from the 5th verse.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. Read out of Acts, chapter 12, verse 5. Peter, therefore, was kept in prison.
Right. So Peter was kept in prison. That was a trial of his faith too. All right. Your faith, you're gonna be tested too. Some of us might go to prison. Some of us go to concentration camp. All right. So that's the trial of your faith. So Peter was in prison. All right. Go ahead.
But prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto Yahweh for him.
But you see that? But prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto the Most High for him. They were sending up prayers for Peter, man, praying for him. Because prayers is a spiritual thing. All right? It battles against that warfare, man. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 6. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison.
So he had chains on him, so he couldn't go away. Okay, they had him locked up in prison. And that Herod, Edomite, that devil, all right, one of the fox. He's one of the fox that Yahweh called fox. He was the other Herod, all right? There was a whole host of Herods too, man. Herod Antipas, Herod Agrippa first, the second. A bunch of devils, Edomite, man. All right, always afflicting and oppressing us, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 7. And behold, the angel of the Most High came upon him, and a light shined in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel said unto him, Gird thyself, and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he said unto him, Cast thy garment about thee, and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true, which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. When they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth unto the city, which opened to them of his own accord.
So the gate of the city opened by itself. The Spirit of the Most High opened it. He didn't even open the gate. The Spirit of the Most High opened the gate for him. All right, go ahead.
And they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, Now I know of a surety that the Most High has sent his angel and has delivered me out of the hands of Herod, and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. And when he had considered the thing, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying. And as Peter knocked at the door of the gate, a damsel came to hearken named Rhoda. And when she knew Peter's voice, she opened not the gate for gladness, but ran in and told how Peter stood before the gate. And they said unto her, Thou art mad. But she constantly affirmed that it was even so. Then said they, It is his angel.
See? Because the angels look just like us. Every one of us have an angel look like us. All right? All right, go ahead.
Verse 16, But Peter continued knocking, and when they had opened the door and saw him, they were astonished. But he, beckoning unto them, unto them, with the hand to hold their peace, declared unto them how the Most High had brought him out of the prison. And he said, Go, show these things unto James and to the brethren. And he departed and went into another place.
Right. So all the angels, all of us have an angel look just like us that represents us. All right? So don't be surprised when you see someone look just like you. All right? But all of us have a double too. All of us have a double. All right? You know, say, but wait a minute, that person looks just like me. But all of us have a double. And the angels, you have an angel look just like you, and he looks just like you. And he's watching over you.
All praises.
All right?
All praises.
Another example of that too. Remember when, I think it's in Matthew, when the disciples were together, and they were rejoicing because they got the spiritual power. And Yahushua said, don't rejoice so much, but rejoice in much as what? As your name is written in heaven. All right? And you're showing the example that the angel in heaven behold and look just like you too. All right? So, and that's what the scripture said in Psalms 34 and 7, the angel of the Most High encampeth round about them that fear him. All right? Psalms 34 and 7, that angel, your angel encamp around you. Yes.
So it's my angel that goes before the face of the Most High
Yep. And he reports back to the Most High.
and looks like me.
And looks like you. Looks just like Yahweh Bob. Walk like you. Probably talk like you too. Deep voice. Boom, trumpet. Yeah, it's in there. It's in there. Only thing, he has spiritual power. He doesn't sit. Doesn't get tired. Doesn't sleep. Isn't that amazing? Because remember, before we were made flesh, where were we? In the spiritual realm. We were spirits before we became flesh. And even Jake's notice here. Jake's in the ignorant state always says, the ancestors. Why do they always say the ancestors? Because the ancestors are back where? In the spiritual realm. Even Jake's into the Africanism, I always say that, the ancestors. You understand? Even when Cicely Tyson died the other day, there was like a tribute to her, and he said, yeah, she went back to the ancestors. But Jake is so out here, so spiritual. He said, but she's not dead, because the script, they were saying, whenever you mention a person's name, that name lives on forever.
Right.
And your name lives on forever. All right? Once you have a good reputation, a good name is better than what? Gold and silver. Yeah, a good name lives on forever, man. You know? Yeah.
When you said about us being the spirit forever, because in Genesis it said on the sixth day he had made everything. So that means our spirit had to have been made already.
Yep.
Come.
Yeah. And our people are spiritual, but a lot of times they don't know it. They're just in the ignorance, but that spirit is in them. And once they tend to tap into something, that spirit comes out in their speech.
And so all of us was talking with the Most High in the conversation. He was talking to us, let's go make man in our image. So he was talking to us in the spiritual world. And that's how he came into the earth.
Yep. All right. So where we were,
We was in James.
James, right? Let's go back to James. So the subject of the matter is the different levels of faith. All right. We left off in the fourth verse.
I think, yeah, 4. We start 4 again. Reading out of James, chapter 1, verse 4. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally and unupbraided not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea.
Right. So what does it mean to waver?
To doubt.
Yeah, wishy-washy. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe God is real. Maybe the Bible is true. I don't know if the white man wrote it. I don't know if our ancestors wrote it. I don't know who to believe. They're showing me in Google. They're showing me in Wikipedia that the Bible is not true. And you go through all this. I don't know. The Egyptology said the Bible is plagiarized. I don't know who to believe. So you start to get wishy-washy.
Muslims say Christ is only a prophet.
Yeah, you know. But that's why the testing of your faith makes you grounded and solid. When you go through those afflictions and those things, you become a living testimony and witness to know that the Most High and His Word is true. All right? So that's why the first thing James said is the testing of your faith. Your faith has to be tested to see what you're made of. The Most High just can't give you something and you're not worthy of it. A lot of times we do that when we are children. We give them gifts, shower them with gifts, right? But are they really worthy of those gifts that we give our children? No, they have to earn it. They have to earn it. They have to prove to you. Then you say, okay, you know what? I'll reward you with these gifts. But let's say you have a son. He's your only son and you're rich. And you just give him everything that he wants. No matter what. There! What is he going to do with that riches?
Squander it.
He's going to squander it. Where is the example of that? Prodigal son. You're not really going to appreciate it. Because you said, it's there. I'm just taking it for granted. You haven't earned it. You haven't achieved it. You haven't worked for it.
Got a question.
Yes.
Oh, sir, I'm sorry, I have a question. The first thing is that it can't be written by a white man because it talk about he hates Esau. So if he's talking, if a white man wrote it, then you know, it talks about he hates Esau. So
Right.
that's not true.
But some people, but that don't mean nothing. A white man could condemn himself. And I said, they're still trying to justify it. I said, but look, the language of it is the white man's language, brother.
Right.
He uses semantics, brother. Look at the language he's using, thou and thither and here and forth. Because whose language is that, brother?
But a lot of our people don't even get that far to know what is an Esau. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they just see the, you know, I always say the
But-
only thing white about the Bible is the
Then,
pages.
true, but when you go back deeper into in the research of it, we were the one that spoke those languages too. When we ruled England.
God.
You see? And a lot of people is ignorant to what? A lot of people is ignorant to the fact also that King James wasn't a white boy.
Right.
God.
No, his son, King James, was a black man that ruled England. A lot of people can't fathom or overstand that. That's too like, nah, that's, brother. Now brother, you going too far now, brother. You going too far now. You going off, brother. Hey, King James is a white boy that ruled England, but they don't know that history, man.
Right.
All right. James, his name is just the English name for Jacob or Jacob.
Right.
All right. King James came from the family of the Stuart line.
Right.
That's a whole entire black line. All right. And even the word James or Jacob in German is Kaf. All right? When you go back and you see that whole lineage, it all goes back to the black royal family.
That's right.
And you got people in England that don't even know that history. But that's the facts.
That's right.
I'm saying that this man whitewash and lied about. Yeah.
That's why you got the Pope over there. He bows to the Black Madonna.
Right.
Right.
You understand? So our history goes deep and far, man. So a lot of people say because the language that's written in the Bible has to be the white man. But no, we spoke those languages, man.
Right.
And I said even the idea you see they have in England when they're in the courts and in the courts and they're wearing those wigs, that was because of the woolly hair that we had. That's where they got that from. Wearing the white wigs on their head represents the woolly hair. All right? That came from us. We started that. Now today the white man's still doing the same thing. They're doing it in some of the islands too, in the court system, wearing the white wigs.
Doing it in Africa too. They're doing it in Africa.
Yeah. So we started that, man. You understand? Even that bastard English, we started that too.
Right.
You understand? When we ruled in Europe, you understand? We did those things. But that's another history,
And
a topic,
And the Anglo-Saxons means
Yeah.
angelic sons
Yeah,
of
Isaac, yeah. You understand? It's a deep history, man. And I'm surprised that our people that's into Egyptology and Afrocentricity don't even know that history. Because you got black historians like Ivan van Sertima.
Right.
He was a pro-Africanist and he wrote the history of Europe. All right? J.A. Rogers brought all that history up. And he brought that history way back in the 1920s, man. Wow. All right? J.R. Rogers brought that history. All right? So it's a lot of deep, rich history that our people have been, what they really delve in is into the Africanism and Egyptology. You know what I'm saying? They don't really search out the history of Europe. Some might touch on it, but the master won't touch on that. All right? But Ivan van Sertima, I gotta give him that props. J.A. Rogers, all right? There's another historian too that wrote, it was called African Presence in the Americas before Columbus. All right? So there's a lot of black historians that are into Africanism that wrote about the history in Europe. All right? And that history in Europe is a deep history, man. All right? And one of the reasons why the pilgrims came over here, because they were running and fleeing from King James. They didn't want to be under King James. All right? And when Cromwell came to power, he killed King James' son. And he took over Oliver Cromwell. That was a devil that took over England right after King James and his sons. That's when they came back into power and took back the power. So they were fleeing from King James, those criminals, what you call the pilgrims and the Puritans, to come over here to set up their own so-called religious freedom. That's why they came over here. All right? So let's go back into this here. Where we left off here.
Left off on 6.
Sometimes you got touch into different things. You understand?
Back in James chapter 1 verse 6. But let him act in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
Up like the sea, up and down, rough seas, up, this way, that way. You're not focused. All right, go ahead.
Verse 7. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the other one.
You can't get nothing from the Most High if you're in that frame of mind. If you're in an undecisive mind, the Most High can't deal with you.
That's right.
That's why it's important to be focused. And that's a big problem with our people. They can't be focused for at least 5 minutes. Even in the school, the little children, they can't stay quiet for 1 minute. And you know what's the main problem? Why? Vitamin D deficiency. That's the main factor. When you don't have an ample amount of vitamin D in your system, you have little attention span. You can't focus. All right? Vitamin D is very, very vital to us as black people. Notice any child, if he can't stay still, he's just restless up and down. Stay still. what they call it? ADT or some foolishness?
Attention deficit.
ADHD and
Because he's lacking vitamin D. If he gets vitamin D for a whole month straight, you'll see the difference in his attention span. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Right? See, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. All right? So, this is one aspect of the level of your faith, of faith. All right? Like I said earlier, there are 4 levels of faith. 1, the testing of your faith, the reality of your faith through your tongue, the testing of your faith of worldliness, and last, the end result of your faith is the greatest thing, salvation of your soul.
That's right.
All right? Now, let's get an example of that. Let's go to the book of Job, the 1st chapter, and also get Matthew's, the 13th chapter. All right? Because Yahushua also spoke on that issue too. Matthew's, the 13th chapter.
Want that first?
Yeah, let's go to Matthew's 13 first. Because Yahushua made an example of that. All right, Matthew 13, and start from the 18th verse.
Read out of Matthew chapter 13, verse 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower.
All right, so Yahushua spoke this in a parable. Hear ye the parable of the sower. What is a sower?
person who plants
Right,
seeds.
who plant seeds. All right, and Yahushua was a master seed planter, because he planted the word of the Most High. So it's also in a figuratively, symbolically, metaphorically, physically, spiritually. All right, he's giving you the example of that sower. All right, go ahead.
Verse 19, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catches away that which was sown in his heart.
Right. What does that mean?
When you're hearing the word, you're starting to process it, you're trying to understand it. The spirit of Satan or the devil comes and takes
Somebody, come and
comes
say
and
it.
plants doubt in your mind.
Yo, brother, that's garbage. That happened in the past, man. That's the white man's book, brother. You have to come into Afrocentricity, brother. You have to go back to non-civilization, brother. That doesn't non-civilization predate what that stuff is talking about.
You're a god.
You a god. You a goddess. You understand? And they come and put doubt in your mind.
God.
Right? And it's always somebody.
God.
Most of the time it's your own people.
God. God.
Sometimes it's the devil, the white man, but it's your own people.
God.
Yes.
Yeah, we see that all the time when we speak. We're speaking to somebody,
Yeah.
getting their attention,
Yeah.
focus. By the way, brother.
Yeah. Yo, yeah.
Draw his attention.
Oh, yeah, you start distraction.
Talking to him,
Yeah.
he coming in and just draw his attention to her right away.
Draw him out. That shows you how real the word is.
God.
All right? Read it again.
Read out of Matthew chapter 13, verse 18.
19, yeah.
Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not,
You don't have a full grips of it yet, but you like it. Man, it's sounding good. Go ahead.
then cometh the wicked one and catches away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receiveth seed by the wayside.
So he's not stable yet. All right? He's just there. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He's like, I like this. But he's still got doubts. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 20, but he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it.
Now, it's another person now, yes.
No, I was just gonna say anon just mean like without knowing.
Without knowing, right. So there's another person, there's different levels now. All right? There's always different levels to everything in life. Physical knowledge, spiritual knowledge, wisdom, understanding. There's different levels to everything. Levels to your spirituality. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 21. Yet hath he not root in himself.
He's not rooted yet, but he's getting there. He's starting to feel it. He's feeling the vibes. You understand? Go ahead.
But dureth for a while.
But dureth for a while. He's hanging in there. All right, go ahead.
For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended.
See? You're tested. Your faith is tested now. Now he's getting shipwrecked. Now his faith is being tested. Oh my gosh. Why is this happening? Why? I thought I'm supposed to receive it and everything's supposed to be nice and good and glorious and peaches and we're in the kingdom. No. You're gonna be your faith is gonna be tested. That's the first thing.
That's right.
You gotta go through that, man. All right? Read that verse again.
Read out of Matthew chapter 13, verse 21. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended.
Go ahead.
He also that receiveth seed among the thorn is he that heareth the word.
Right? And the thorns is where? What is thorns? What is thorns in the literal sense?
Weeds.
Right. Weeds that grows up amongst the grass and your crops that you have to root out. All right? It sticks you. You have like spikes on it. Yeah.
Right.
You have to root that out because it's going to choke and destroy your crops.
Right.
All right? And the thorns also represents who? People. Yes. Family.
Right.
Family members. Your own people. Amongst your people.
Then say it, then stop playing.
But like I said, it's physical, literal, symbolically, metaphorically, figuratively. All right? It's all of those in one capsule.
Literal.
All right? Go ahead.
Let me read it again. Verse 22. He also that receiveth seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word.
You hear the word. Go ahead.
And the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
What happens now? What happens to this person here now?
He's hearing the word, it sounds good, but the riches of the world or the lusts of the flesh are more enticing than the word.
That's the same thing we're talking about. The different levels of faith. All right? He see the riches of the world. He could make money. He could go out there and get a quick, fast buck. He could live the lavish lifestyle. You're like, you know what? This song's good and all, but gotta get my money. There ain't nothing wrong in getting the money now, but don't let that money destroy you. It's the love of money. You understand? Because money's a defense. You need money. If you could make money and get a job, go and make the money. But don't let it destroy you, that it becomes the love of that money, that you will sell yourself and do anything to get that money. You're not going to go out there and get a hustle and make money, man. Because the Most High said, hate not laborers' work. You understand? Yes.
I was going to say something, but you could be sitting on the fence, tired, oh, am I going to Shabbat class or not? Somebody come, yo, come with us to do this, man.
Yeah.
You go to the next Shabbat class, don't worry about it.
Right. You understand? Oh, you hearing the word and say, yo, brother, you know what? You want to make $1,000 right now on the Shabbat? You could do it now, brother. Quick. All you got to do is 3 hours, bro. You can make $1,000. And you go on and do it. What?
Oh, and give the money to the school.
Exactly.
You understand? Yeah.
But he's giving up the kingdom for the money.
He's giving up everything.
Yeah.
He's giving up. His faith is being tested.
Right.
His faith is being tested. So he has to make a choice. What he wants, what the Most High has to give, or he wants the worldliness. Yes.
Got a precept.
Mm-hmm.
Job 15:8. Hast thou heard the secret of Yahweh, and durst thou restrain wisdom to thyself? I mean, he heard the truth, but he ain't teaching it.
Right.
Okay?
You understand?
He's not sharing what he learned.
Right. But you see,
He's holding that to himself.
he's holding it. But that's why I said there's different levels to everything in life. Some people, when they get this truth, some teachers, some prophets, some ministers. It's different levels. Everybody have a different calling for this work. Not everybody's going to be a teacher or to teach on the street. Some people might work one-on-one better with one people, just talking to them. They might gain fruit by that. Some people might be able to do it through what? Their music. All right? Some people might be able to do it in everyday life that they encounter with people. So there's different levels to this. You understand?
And that deceitfulness,
right?
The deceitfulness of riches, that's the whole thing that takes you out, brother. By the way, because you go straight Revelation 2 and 9, you're already rich because you're Israel. So that's very important because remember, Yahushua is talking to Israel.
But see, a lot of times people don't have the faith to believe that. Well, I gotta wait to get this riches. I could get mine now, man. Get mine now. Why I gotta die, go to heaven to get my riches? That's the concept off your head. I gotta die to go to heaven to get my riches. I'm gonna get mine now, man. Get it now while you're living. And the scripture tells you that. It says. Let me get it quoted right. Go to Ecclesiastes. Okay. I'm gonna come right back to the scripture real quick. Say whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it. All right. One second. Okay, Ecclesiastes 9 chapter and the 10th verse.
Read out Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might.
Do it with your might. Do it with your might in righteousness. All right, go ahead.
For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest.
Yeah, when you dead, ain't nothing you could do. So you got to do it in this life. All right? But make sure you do it in righteousness. Don't do it in evilness and vanity and wickedness. All right? Because there's a reward to that too. All right? All right? There's a reward to that. All right? So let's go back to Matthew the 13th chapter.
Verse 20.
Read 22 again.
22.
Yeah.
Read now to Matthew chapter 13, verse 22. He also that receiveth seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
Right, and the deceitfulness of riches. All right? He went after the riches. All right, go ahead.
Verse 23. But he that receiveth seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word.
That heareth the word. You hear the word. All right, go ahead.
And understandeth it.
And you understand it. All right, go ahead.
Which also beareth fruit. And bringeth forth some an 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Right. So you apply it. You put the application of it to work. All right? And it says what? It said a true witness does what? A true witness does what? Let's go to Proverbs. A true witness wins souls. All right? Proverbs, I think, is the 14th chapter. All right? To be fruitful, you win souls for the Most High. Proverbs 14, I think is right. Proverbs 14 and 25. But read the 23rd verse and then jump to 25.
We have Proverbs chapter 14, verse 24. The crown of the rich.
No, Proverbs 14, 23.
23.
And then jump to
Oh, yeah,
25.
Okay,
Yeah.
I read 24. Okay, reading out of Proverbs chapter 14, verse 23. In all labor there is profit.
See that? In all labor there is profit. Anything you do is a profit. All right, go ahead.
But the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury.
Right, but the talk of the lips, talk, tendeth only to what?
Penury.
Poverty.
Poverty. Just talking, but no actions. All right, jump to 25.
Verse 25. A true witness delivereth souls.
See, a true witness delivereth souls. Go ahead.
But a deceitful witness speaketh lies.
You see that? All right, so go back to Matthew 13. So it says in 23, but he also beareth fruit and bringeth forth fruit. He's sound. He's applying. All right, read 23 again.
Read out of Matthew chapter 13, verse 23. But he that receiveth seed into the ground, into the good ground, is he that heareth the word, and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some an 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Right. So when it says, but he that receiveth the seed into the good ground, what is that good ground?
The fear of the Most High, obeying His commandments.
That's true. But in the literal sense, what's the good ground?
Mine.
That's true.
A foundation.
But right, a foundation. But in order to grow anything, what kind of soil it has to be in?
Good soil. Rich
Good soil, rich, fertile soil.
Fertile soil.
You understand? That's the good ground. A fertile, rich soil. You understand? You can't grow nothing in a soil that's not fertile. It's going to be barren. All right? So your fruits have to be planted in a good ground. All right? Okay? So this is the example, like we said, that's example of testing of your faith. Now go to Job, the 1st chapter. And we'll go to the next level of your faith after this here. Job, the 1st chapter. We all should know this right now, Job.
Start with 1.
Yeah, read the first verse here.
Right. Read out of Job chapter 1, verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz.
The land of Uz was located in the land of Edom. And Uz represents the land of the rich, the wealthy, of the Edomites that live in that area. All right, so Job was living in that area, in the land of Uz. All right, go ahead.
Whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared Yahweh.
See, he feared the Most High. All right, go ahead.
And showed evil.
And he eschewed evil. He didn't uphold or tolerate evil. All right? But mind you now, he feared the Most High. But why is he going to be tested now? Why is his faith going to be tested? That's the first part of your faith when you come to serve the Most High. It might not come the same day. It might not come a month. It might not come within a year. It may come maybe down the line, later on. But your faith is going to be tested. The Most High is going to step to you and say, let me see what you worth. Let me see your worth, homie. All right? Yeah.
I got a precept.
Yes.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right, you have to prepare your soul for that. That has to be in your mind. Prepare yourself for that. Don't think like, nah, The Most High is not going to put me through the test. Nah, I'm good. I'm one of the 144,000. Don't ever get that type of mindset. Don't ever think you the 144,000. Just say, I'm a servant of the Most High.
That's right.
All right? Don't ever put up there and say, yeah, I'm for sure. I'm part of the 144,000. Don't even put your lips to say something like that. Just say, I'm a servant of the Most High. And I'm willing to be a doorkeeper. All right? If it's possible. David said that. Right. David said, if I could just be even a doorkeeper in the Most High kingdom. Not that he's going to be a doorkeeper, but he's showing the humility of it. All right? Don't get big-headed. Like they say, yeah, I know for sure, brother. I'm of the elect, brother. Anybody can't tell me nothing, brother. I know that, brother.
When I'm in the kingdom.
When I'm in the kingdom? Yeah, you want to get in the kingdom, but don't put yourself and say you're the elect, brother. I don't know, brother. I'm not going to I'll just say I'm a servant of the Most High. I'm just a willing servant, man. Yes.
Yeah, precept. James 1 and 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into
diverse temptation. Yep.
Yeah. What you say, I can't remember the verse, but I know Paul said we dare put not ourselves with that number.
Right.
So,
right.
Who's saying the elect?
You right? You understand? So if you hear brother saying, just that, brother, be careful what you're saying, brother. You know, we all want to aspire and reach that level. But for you to put yourself in that number, you don't know, man. All right? So it's best to stay humble until the Most High exalts you. All right? Yes.
I was going to say, all the testing because he wants to be a faithful servant. That's all.
If you're faithful, if you're going to serve the Most High, you're going to be obedient. You understand? Just like gold is tried in the fire, the Most High have to put you through that test to see what you are. If you are his faithful servant. All right? Even when you get a certain jobs, you have to go through certain requirements. If you don't pass those requirements for the job, they say, well, sorry, sir, you have not passed the requirements that what we need for this job. You're not qualified for this position. We need a person that's qualified, that's going to be on time for this job, that's going to be dedicated to our company, that's going to show that he's worthy to work and to bring profits into our company.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's like when you join the army.
Yeah. When you join the army, they put you through the test. If you can't pass those first 6 weeks of basic training, it's a sorry, buddy. Sorry. Ring that bell, tap out. Even in Navy SEALs. When you join the Navy SEALs and you go to that higher level of being a warrior, if you can't pass those, I think those 6 weeks, they say, ring that bell. Ding, 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 ding. Tap out. Ring that bell, man. They want the best. You know? So if he wants the best, don't you think the Most High wants the best of us? Yeah. Yes.
I found the verse.
Bring it.
2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12. For we dare not make ourselves of the number, or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves. But they measuring themselves by themselves, and comparing themselves amongst themselves are not wise.
Right. It's not wise to do that. You understand? Like I said, there's levels. There's levels, man. Everybody have their part to play. Different bricks. All right? Different administration. Different levels. All right? And you're going to know when the Most High push you to that level. All right? Every man and woman has a gift and a talent that the Most High gave you. And don't neglect that gift and talent the Most High gave you. Put it to use. All right? If you don't know your talent and gift, ask the Most High to show you. All right? But it's going to show in you. It's a natural thing. It's a natural thing. All right? Go ahead, where we left off.
Go on to 2 right now.
Yeah.
You want to read the beginning again?
No, read the second verse, yeah.
Read out of Job, chapter 1, verse 2. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters.
Check that out. So that's 10 children in all right there. 10 children, a completion. All right, go ahead.
Verse 3. His substance also was 7,000 sheep.
That's riches. He had a lot of livestock. That's the perfect word. He was rich. All right, go ahead.
And 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she-asses, and a very great household.
He had a great household. So he was rich. He was doing good. All right, read on.
So this man was the greatest of all the men of the East.
Now, I want to ask you all, when he said he was the greatest of all the men of the East, why does it say the men of the East?
Because it's east of Israel.
Right. That's the East that the Most High was referring to. All right? I know a lot of time when you read the scripture, the Most High says he's going to push the Moabites to the men of the East. The East of that area was also Arabia. All right? Because Edom is not too far from the land of Arabia. That was called the East. Remember when the wise man came to Yahushua, he said, wise man came from where?
The East.
From the East. All right? That's the East. All right? Whenever you read the scripture and you hear about the East is always referring to Saudi Arabia and that area. It wasn't referring to China or Japan. You understand? The East was that area of what you call the Levant, or I don't like to say the Middle East because there was no such thing as the Middle East. That's a name that Esau made up.
Asia Minor, right?
You could say Asia Minor or Northeast Africa. All right? Because Jerusalem, Israel is Northeast Africa.
Okay.
Not no Middle East. That's not a geographical location.
Right.
All right? Okay. I know some people say, we're not Africans, brother. I didn't say we're Africans. All right? I said Jerusalem is just Northeast Africa. But that doesn't mean we're Africans. Yes.
Or when Esau say that those people are Middle Eastern.
Yeah, Middle Eastern. Ain't no such thing as Middle Eastern. That's his term he made up. You understand? But Jerusalem, Israel is Northeast Africa. But that doesn't make us Africans because we're not Hamitic. We're Shemitic.
Right.
That's right.
All right? And the majority of people that lived in the land of that area were Hamitic people, which were Canaanites. All right? The land was named after them. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, everyone his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them.
So what was they drinking?
Wine.
Wine. They feasted.
Yeah.
Let's say they had grape juice. But you know the men had wine. Because wine that's a big thing amongst us. Whenever we had a feast, wine was always there. And to give you a perfect example of that, even Yahushua, when he went up to the wedding, what did he do?
Turn that water to wine.
He turned that water into wine. And he said, man, bam, presto. He said, you saved the best for last. He said, at the end of the wedding, they said, man, you made that good wine. And he saved the best for, he saved that wine, the best wine for last, man. All right? It wasn't no Kool-Aid or no grape juice. It was wine. All right? The blood of grapes is wine. Okay? That's our natural pastime, to drink wine.
Right.
All right? In any feast, there was wine. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 5. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, and Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all.
So he was sending up prayers and offerings so the Most High could bless his children. Because he knew after what they did, they probably were drunk and so he said, you know what? Let me go set up some blessings and some offerings so the Most High could bless my children, just in case they didn't go off and curse the Most High while it was getting tipsy. All right? Go ahead.
For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned.
You see? So he perceived that. All right? Go ahead.
And cursed the Most High.
See?
In their hearts.
In their heart. They cursed the Most High. Because when you're drunk, what happens?
Prideful.
Reveal the soul and mind.
You utter everything. And they say a drunk person what?
Reveals the soul and mind.
Reveals everything. And he does what? He tells the truth. When you're drunk, you wanna get drunk a person? Let him get drunk. Yeah. You know what? All these friggin' years, I never did like you, you know. Now he has the courage, you know. I never did like you. You and your whole damn family. Everything comes out now. You understand? So that's why Job was saying that when they drank this wine, he's hoped that they didn't curse the Most High in their heart. All right? Go ahead, y'all, boss.
verse 4, it says, and his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day. You talking about their birthdays? What's that?
They were celebrating something. I don't know what they was doing, but they were celebrating something.
Alright.
They're celebrating their lifestyle, how they was living. You know what I mean? I mean, they was doing good. Job had it up. So they were living it up, enjoying it, man. You know? And when you get to that point, when you get drunk and you get wasted, man, you start talking a lot of trash. You know?
My belt is off.
Yeah. He took the Most High cups and then he said, he boasted. And said, go get me those cups in Jerusalem. And drank in the Most High cup. The Most High said, you Negro, you're going to die. But now you're not going to die. I'm going to take your kingdom from you. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 6, excuse me, verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Most High. And Satan came also among them.
Yeah, here he comes now. Here comes on a very month of May. I was taken by surprise. Hey, he coming jolly, laughing, happy. He got a plan, he got a device now. All right? Who sent him? The Most High. Most High said, go on down there, man, my son. Do what you do, man. Do what you do. All right, go ahead.
Verse 7. And the Most High said unto Satan, whence comest thou?
Where you going? Where you coming from?
Where you been, boy?
Where you been, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Now, check on his reply now. Go ahead.
Then Satan answered the Most High and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it.
Check it in. He's telling the Most High, listen, man, I'm going down in the earth, doing my business, doing what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, y'all, Bob.
Salat, what is the sons of God? Who they talking about?
The other angels.
The angels.
The other angels.
The angels of the Most High, yeah. Yes.
People be amazed to find out that that was up in heaven.
Yep.
Satan was up in heaven. Really? You know, they are shocked by that.
I was shocked.
Yep. So he said, yeah, man, I'm going through the earth, man. I'm in the earth, man. I'm chilling. I'm checking out things. I'm looking at people. I'm seeing who's serving you, who's doing their wickedness. Yeah, I'm doing my thing, man. You know, and while I was in the earth, man, I saw somebody, man.
Wilding out.
Yeah. So he going back and talking to the Most High, regular conversation. Ain't like the Most High, like trembling. Oh, Satan. The church have you believing that, oh, Satan is fighting against God. He's rusty, he's fighting. No. Satan is not fighting against the Most High.
Right.
Satan obeys and trembles at the Most High presence, man.
Yeah.
Only people fight against the Most High.
That's right.
You punch the clock too, right, Ben?
Yeah, man. Satan is waiting to take orders. Aye, sir. Yes, sir. What you want? He's not breaking rank and going to do his own thing. Satan is waiting for those orders. As soon as it comes out of the Most High mouth, yes, sir. And he's all right.
Could I do the thing when I want
in James, right?
Yeah. You know, I always gotta
Satan
give
tremble at the word. Yeah.
With that 19.
Yes.
James 2 and 19.
Yeah. It said.
Read it. Yeah.
It said, this is James chapter 2, verse 19. Thou believest there is one God. Thou doest well.
Right. That's not speaking to everybody. That's speaking to those of us that believe and overstand the Most High words. All right. Go ahead.
Thou doest well.
You do as well. All right. Go ahead.
The devils also believe.
The devils also believe.
And tremble.
And tremble, man. You understand? Only man is so arrogant and prideful and puffed up and stupid. Stupid. Talk a lot of trash, man. All right? Go back to Job.
Yeah. And I'll read verse 7 again. Read out of Job chapter 1, verse 7. And the Most High said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Most High and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Most High said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job?
Yeah, he saw Job there too. So the Most High said, hey, you saw my boy Job? Did you see my boy Job down there? Go ahead.
That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil. Verse 9. Then Satan answered the Most High and said, Does Job fear the Most High for naught?
And he come back and say, does Job fear you for nothing? So he already got something in his mind. He already got something in his mind. He already scheming. And the Most High know his plans already. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 10. Hast not thou made a hedge around him?
So he said to the Most High, but you put a hedge around him, man. You got a protection around him. That's your boy, man. I just can't go in and interrupt your business with him. I can't get in there. I can't penetrate the zone like that. You have to give me a leadway. So Satan knows he can't do nothing unless the Most High said, go ahead and do it. Yes. Once you walk in the ways of the Most High, ain't a damn thing nobody could do against you, man. Understand? There's a scripture in Proverbs, the Most High said, when a man's ways please the Most High, he maketh what? His enemies to be at peace with you. Alright? Let's get that scripture for the viewing audience. Where's that scripture, bro? You gotta tell us where that scripture is, brother. Proverbs, I think it's 14, not 25, 14, no, not 14, 25, it's 16, let me see, when a man's way please him, he makes his enemy to be at peace with him. One second. Everybody can find it real quick. Anybody got it? Look it up real quick.
Proverbs 16:7.
16:7. Yep. 16?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Man, I'm looking in the book of Job. I'm in the book of Job.
Read out of Proverbs chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Most High, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Right? And that's what Satan knew. He said, I just can't go in there and interrupt the business, man. You and Job have personal business together. All right? So read that verse again. Let's go back to Job.
Which one? Okay.
Proverbs 16:7.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways pleases the Most High, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Right. And how do you obtain that level? How do you obtain that level? When a man's ways please the Most High, how do you obtain that level?
Keeping the commandments.
Keeping the commandments. And you have to have faith.
That's right.
You have to have that faith. If you don't have that faith, the Most High is not going to deal with you. Because what does the scripture say? Without faith, it's impossible to please the Most High. All right? So let's go back to Job real quick, and then we have to jump to different levels of faith. All right?
Read out of verse, Job chapter 1, verse 9. Then Satan answered the Most High and said, doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Hast thou not made a hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath, on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. Verse 11, but put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face.
See that? He said, but put forth thy hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And that's what he wants. They want you to curse the Most High and go against the Most High. But in all your trials and temptation, never curse the Most High.
That's right.
All right? Yes.
Yeah, when you look at it, not only was a hedge around him, but
everything that he has.
Everything.
Everything was blessed.
So it wasn't everything that Satan couldn't touch nothing.
Could touch nothing. Everything that was around him was blessed by the Most High. That's why it says, when a man's ways please the Most High, he makes his enemies to be at peace with him. Ain't nothing your enemy could do. He can't penetrate. He can't do nothing. Because the Most High has that spiritual hedge.
That's right.
That protection.
Because Because if you don't have all of your flanks covered, Satan could get in up under one of them hedges.
Yeah, the weak links. Go find the weak links.
Yeah.
Yes.
It also shows that that Satan's always dealing with vanity.
Yep.
He's talking about what he has, and when Yahushua came, he was offering him vanity too.
That's his job.
That's all he does.
That's why he says the deceitfulness of riches choke them.
Correct.
Because that's Satan's greatest thing. To draw you away from the Most High. Riches.
The key word is deceitfulness.
Deceitfulness of riches. The first thing he brings to you to entice you is
cold-blooded.
It's riches. Look. Power. Because with riches come what?
Power.
Power. All right?
Fame.
Fame. Once you got that money and wealth, brother, you like a god in the earth. All right? And he knows that. That's the first thing. Even when he came to Yahushua, he said, listen, man, if you bow down to me, man, see, just bow down, man. He said, look over, man. See the kingdoms out there, man? I give you all of that. If you just be on my side, come work with me. Just a little. Just come and work with me. And you know, he was working his way, working on Yahushua because he was at his weak point. He was fasting, so he was trying to get into him. He was coming clever, crafty. He was dropping words at him, man. Yo, man, don't be a chump, man. Don't be a chump, man. Yo, this could be yours. We could have this together, man. Yeah, you try it.
I was going to say, in that story, you see his absolute humility.
Yeah.
Because he didn't say, I made those things.
Right.
He quoted the Father.
Yeah, You know what I'm saying? He's using deceitfulness. You understand? And he's charming. He's coming with everything, man, to get Yahushua to give in. And that's what he does to all of us. That's why your flanks, all your hedges have to be covered, man. Because he's going to come at every possible weak link that he could come in with, man. And he's not just going to stop at one attempt. He's going to come back again.
That's right.
And he's going to come back with a different method
Bigger and better.
He's going to come back with a different rap.
Bigger and better.
Better. Understand? Each time he's going to come better and better and smoother and more craftier. And then, when he can't get you to a certain point, what's the last attempt? What's the last attempt when he can't get to you?
Take your life.
Fear. Use fear.
Destroy you.
He use fear and try to destroy you. Try to destroy you. You understand?
Trying to destroy you.
Try to destroy you. Because it tells you in Revelation, what is the dragon going to do?
Wage war
The
against.
dragon is going to wage war against the woman and her seed and those that keep what?
The commandments
And the faith of Yahushua. You understand? You see? That's the final end result. Trying to prevent you from obtaining what? Your salvation. All right? Let's finish this and let's jump out. It's almost 2 o'clock here. Go ahead.
So read out of Job chapter 1 verse 12. And the Most High said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power.
See, the Most High said, all that he has is in your power. Everything is in your power. It's up to the ball is in your hand now. Go ahead. Do what you're supposed to do. Go ahead.
Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Most High. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house.
See, they were drinking wine. See, they wasn't drinking grape juice in the previous verse. All right? So you see now, see how Satan's attack you? He attack you at the things that's most dearest to you. That's going to really affect. All right? Now look what he went to. Look what he went to now. He didn't went to Job first. All right, let's go ahead.
Verse 14. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabeans fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Verse 16. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of the Most High is fallen from heaven and has burnt up the sheep and the servant and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came
So
also...
he's coming now, boy. He's bringing it on, boy. He's not holding up now. Most I say it's in your power. So he's bringing it now, man. All right?
3 different conversations going on at the same time.
Go ahead.
Verse 17, while he was yet speaking, there came another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. And Job arose and rended his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshipped, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Most High gave, and the Most High has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Most High Yahweh. In all this, Job sinned not, nor charged the Most High foolishly.
Now check that out. And look what happened. Look all that happened, man. And the final end results, his children got killed. So that was a testing of his faith right there. And he said, with all that, he didn't charge the Most High foolishly nor sin.
It's like equal to somebody losing it all in one day.
All in one day, everything.
And what did he do? He fell on his face.
Fell on
and
his
praised
face.
the Most High.
Yeah.
Because he knew where it was coming from.
Yep. He knew. He knew. But a person that doesn't know the Most High don't understand that thing. Why the hell is happening to me, man? I'm not a bad person, man. Why is this happening to me? And they start getting irrational, emotional, and they just lose it. You can't talk to them. No, this ain't fair, man. It ain't fair, man. Life ain't fair, man. Why is this happening to me, man? I ain't did nothing this happened to me. Oh, you know you ain't did nothing. That's the first thing people say, I'm a good person, man. My mama taught me right, man. I went to church every day, man. I pay my tithes, I did this. Everybody try to make excuses how good I am or why it's happening to me.
I got a good heart.
I got a good heart.
I got a good heart.
You understand? Yeah. I don't deserve this. Why me? Why? You understand? But like I said, this is a testing of your faith. That's number 1. Gotta go through that, man. All right? And let's go to the second phase of your faith. All right? We're gonna speed it up real quickly. All right?
Could I go to the end of everything that happened with Job and the Most High? I'm just gonna read the last chapter. Job chapter 42, verse 12. This is after all these things that happened to Job. He didn't ever deny the Most High or cuss him. So the Most High blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning. For he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels and 1,000 yoke of oxen and 1,000 she-asses. He had also 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he called the name of the first Jemiah, and the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Keren-happuch. That's a rough one. And in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. After this lived Job 140 years, and saw his sons and his sons' sons, even 4 generations. So Job died, being old and full of days.
Right. So in the end result, he obtained that salvation. You understand? That's the end result, this salvation that we're going to receive when we go through these trials of our faith. All right? So let's go to the second phase now. All right? The 100% of your faith is being tested by what? Your words. All right? Because what's the first thing makes you react? Your reaction comes out by your words. That's the first thing. That's your first impulse. Damn it! The F is this? That's your first reaction, is your words. You understand? That's why your tongue, man, that tongue is a bad dude, man. It's unruly. Because could get you in a lot of trouble. All right? So let's go to that. Let's go to James, the 2nd chapter.
You said we're on how real are you through your faith right now?
Yes. How real are you through your tongue? By disciplining your tongue.
I thought we were on the third one.
I feel so.
We're on the 3rd one?
Worldly faith, are you still tied to the earth?
Right, okay, let's go to that because, let's go to the 3rd one.
Yeah, I thought we were on the faith
I
of
thought so
worldliness.
too.
Yeah, let's go to the 3rd one, which is the faith of worldliness. All right? And we'll speed up this one real quick. Let's go to James, the 4th chapter.
So James,
Yeah, let's speed up. Yeah. Let's start from the top real quick. Go through this here.
4 and 1.
Yeah.
We read out of James chapter 4, verse 1. From whence came wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members?
Right. So is that lust for worldliness and power, unrighteous power? Now, there's nothing wrong in having power, but it's called righteous power, like we read in Psalms earlier. The Most High is going to rule the earth in power, in righteousness. He's going to be the governor over the earth. All right? The Most High said, he that ruleth among men must be what? Upright and just. Right? So there's nothing wrong with power, but it has to be in righteousness. But a lot of times people want power for what? Their own selfish greed and ambition. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 2. Ye lust and have not. Ye kill and desire to have and cannot obtain. Yet fight and war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lust.
So everything is upon lust, greed.
Speak.
All right? Go ahead.
Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High?
So your faith, you're going to be tested to see how much attachment you have with the world. All right? Are you still friends with the world? Do you love the world more than you love the Most High? Do you love the things of this world, what goes on, the filth? Do you love that more than the Most High? That's how your faith is going to be tested. All right? Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. Do ye think that the scripture saith it in vain? The spirit that dwelleth in us lusted to envy, but he giveth more grace. Wherefore he said, the Most High resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Submit yourself therefore to the Most High. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
How do you resist the devil? That might sound easy. Bro, just resist the devil, bro. Brother, resist the devil, bro. That's all you got to do, brother. But how do you resist the devil?
Obey the Lord, obey the voice of the Most High.
That's true. But what else?
Keep the laws.
That's true.
Keeping the laws, but it's more than that. It's your whole environment. It's keeping certain people away from you. It's fasting. It's prayer.
All that is right. That is right. Yep.
Hey, you walk in the Spirit.
Walk in the Spirit. That's true. But what you have to reflect back. Remember when Satan came to Yahushua? How did he come to him?
He was weak from fasting.
And what was he doing? What method was he using?
The Bible.
He was quoting scriptures, right? And how did Yahushua come back to him? With the scriptures. So how do you resist the devil? You have to put those scriptures back to mind. Apply it. Bring it to mind. If you come and say, listen, brother, see that woman over there? She look fine, right? That's what you want in all this life, right? A fine looking sister, right? She got all the things that you want. It's sticking out. It's looking at you. But you know she's married. How do you apply and resist that?
Go straight to adultery.
You go to the scripture. You reflect back on the scripture. You're like, scripture said thou shalt not commit adultery. You put those scriptures, you go back to the scripture, you apply it. and you put it to your application. You put it into your mind. That's how you resist the devil. All right? You bring those scriptures back to your mind. All right? You let it be in you. Because Satan is going to come and say, you know you want her, man. Look at her. Look at her. Don't turn away. Look at her. Don't she look good? Turn this way, nigga. Look, nigga.
That's how it is, bro.
Right? He's going to come real. He ain't coming like no white boy to you. He going to talk like a brother real. Look at her, man. Ain't that sister? Look at her. Ain't that BITC fine? Look at her. Look how it's jiggling, brother. Look how it's moving, brother. Stop turning your head, nigga. Right? So you have to apply scriptures. All right? You have to bring the scriptures back into your mind. Every time, man. Bring the scriptures back, man. You understand? Because he's going to come at you, man. So that's how you resist the devil. You don't resist by being physical. I'm going to fight against him. No, you can't do that. Yeah.
Before, at least with me, before the thought settles long, you say, get thee hence, Hasatan, because the more you start dwelling on it, the more you start getting sucked in. You just got to get it out real quick.
It's a psychological battle.
Get it out
First of all, you got to call upon the Most High, ask the Most High to intercede, man. All right? Because it's a psychological battle. It's not a physical battle. It's physical, but it's more mental first. Right? Yeah.
Even the law with the fringes, it says to look upon it so that you can remember the law when you use your eyes to go whoring. So it's like telling you, remember these laws. Your eyes is going to take you.
Because your eyes wander, your eyes look. Wherever your eyes look and see, that's what everybody's going to pursue. You understand? So Satan is clever, man. He comes, man. Yes.
Now, I just want to say to change, I had a precept for Job 10:7. You know when saying goes to and fro through the earth? Then the Most High word says here, it says, for the eyes of the Lord Yahweh run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong on the behalf to show himself strong in the behalf of them, Israel, I know you're talking about, whose heart is perfect toward him. That's what he's saying. For those that's fully committed to him, he'll strengthen the hearts of those that's fully committed to him. So all the stuff that's going on, all you stay committed, keep the commandments, all of this.
Right. But these are the levels that you build up.
Yes, sir.
To become committed to the Most High. You have to go through these areas as a servant. Yes.
Also, think about the repercussions.
Right.
You know, that's what I think about. Repercussions or action. If you was to do something like that.
Yep. Yeah, you got to think about that. You got to think about what the Most High is going to do to you. See, a lot of times, the Most High doesn't punish you immediately. Sometimes the Most High wait for a while when you're secure, when you think it's, the Most High forgot. And the Most High catches you in your insecurity. And the Most High, wham, catches you. All right?
But even more colder, Yahweh said, even if you thought about that, you sinning. So it says it's a sin to think about it because it goes in progression. The thought implanted in your mind, and then afterward the action, and then the results is death.
Right.
So
just don't think about it.
That's the whole thing. Let it go. Let it go.
That's why it says there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So you have to apply all those things, man. That's why it's good to study. It says study, all right? Because when Satan comes to you, you want to have all these precepts in your faculty, in your spirit, surrounding you. All right? Even if you don't know 10 scriptures, at least have those two to ward off Satan and his attempts. Because he's coming to you mentally. He's attacking you. He's attacking here. He's going here. Right? Even Esau, in the words, know everything begins in the mind. He even said you could heal yourself with your mind. It all applies, the application begins in your mind. All right? The mind is a powerful thing. Your mind is so strong, if you get to that level, you could even cause that thing to levitate with your mind when you come to that level. When you exercise that power. Because remember, he said we only use what? A tenth of our brain. Imagine that. Imagine that. So imagine how powerful the mind is. All right? Yeah, Jude. Yeah.
It says, precept for that is Romans 7:25. It says, I thank Yahweh through Yahweh Shai, our Lord. So then, with the mind.
See?
Myself.
See? With the
serve
mind.
The law of Yahweh.
See? With the mind. It all begins in the mind. You know, there was a song too. Who sang? He says, free your mind, and the rest will follow. Who sung that? Invo, right? Yeah. Free the mind, right? It all begins up here in the mind.
Let me finish that.
Yeah, finish that, yeah.
But with the flesh, the law of sin.
You're right. See? With the flesh. See? It all begins in the mind. Everything starts in the mind. So you have to discipline yourself to that. Always keep yourself focused with that scripture. I know it's hard sometimes because the world we're living in and everything that's bombarding us. But make that a practice. All right? Especially in these last days, man. Now is the time to really keep yourself harnessed up.
That's right.
Focus, man. You can't be out there unfocused. Because Satan will come and snatch you up. He'll push you to the side, man. All right, let's go.
Verse 8. Draw nigh to the Most High, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Most High.
That's the key. We have to humble ourselves in the sight of the Most High. That's the most important thing right there, to humble ourselves. All right? Go ahead.
And he shall lift you up. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judges his brother speaketh evil of the Lord and judges the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy.
That's true.
Who art thou that judgest another? Go now. Yet ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there for a year, and buy and sell and get gain. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow.
We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Nobody knows.
Right,
you understand? So that's why you can't be boasting and say, yeah, that tomorrow, man, we're going to do this here, man. Tomorrow I'm going to make that money, brother. You don't know what's going to happen. The most time I said, no, you know what? No. Most time I said, you know what? Make his car break down. So you can't go and make that money. Break his car down. Let him get a flat tire. All right? So you can't boast and say what you're going to do tomorrow. Go ahead.
For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Most High will, we shall live and do this or that.
Right, because the Most High might have a different agenda for you that day.
That's right.
The Most High said, you know what? I want you to hear my word today.
That's right.
You think I want you to hear this word. This is for you today. And you got your plans. Just like when I first came in the truth. Right? When I first heard the word, I was downtown 42nd Street going to the movies, could see the Chinese movies, the 3 karates every Sunday. I was going to see it, me and my homeboy. Yeah, we're going to see that. Yeah. So we walking, going, I heard the brothers speaking, roaring, thundering. I said, what? I said, wait a minute, hold up. Told my homeboy, hold up, man, what's that? So we walking into the brothers. I heard the voice before I saw him. I said, whoa. I said, damn, I was stood there in shock, amazed. I said, damn, I ain't going to the movies today, boy. That's out. Forget it, that was it. That was the day the Most High called me into the truth. That day, that Sunday. Oh, praise the Most High. I said, no, you ain't going to know. After that, I said, to hell with movies, to hell with getting pizza. To hell with that, man. That was on my mind. I said, what? Then I saw Kazakh after. I said, yo, where's the school? When he said it's in Harlem, I said, in Harlem? I couldn't believe it, man. I said, yo, I got a literature fly. I give him a fly. I said, listen, it was that Sunday. It was Sunday, April 29th. I said, I'm going to be up there tomorrow, Monday, man. I was up there Monday, right up in the school, man. So, you got your own plan what you're going to do? And the Most High said, nah, Negro. I got a plan for you. Yeah. The Most High changed my whole direction when I was going to see movies. Karate. All day in the movies watching karate flicks.
99 cents. 99 cents.
Yeah. I was back in 87. The Most High said, no, you ain't gonna see that. You ain't gonna get no pizza after that. Go to an Italian restaurant to get pizza. Nah. Yeah, Most High changed that, man. Yep.
In James chapter 4:8 it says, purify your hearts, ye double-minded. How do you purify your heart to resolve that affliction? Like, how do you purify the heart so that you can get rid of that double-mindedness?
What is the heart? The mind. So you have to cleanse yourself. Fasting. All right. Stop sinning. All right. And stop doing the things that you do. That's how you purify yourself. That's how, in our words, like being born again. To accept the word. Go to 1 Peter real quick.
Sure. Peter what?
1 Peter 2:1.
Reading out of 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. Laying aside all malice.
No. Read that.
Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings.
Go ahead.
As newborn babes desire.
As a newborn baby does what?
Desire the sincere milk of the word.
Right. A newborn babe, you can't give him meat. You have to give him what? Milk. All right. Do you give him formula? What kind of milk you give him? The mother's milk, breast milk. That's the best milk for him. That's that connection right there. All right, you put in that life and that nourishment into that child. All right, there was a story a couple of years back. This it was an Edomite though. She was in the hospital and the doctor told her the child is dead, and she was like, no, he can't be dead. No, and she was like, die hard. She said, give me my baby, and she put the nipple in the baby and breastfeeding. The baby came back alive. Yeah, that nourishment. And she was convicted that the child wasn't dead. The Spirit showed her, yeah. You understand? That nourishment. And guess what too? What I realized, and I knew this, but never realized it could happen. Even a woman, if she had children before, right? And let's say she's taking care of somebody's baby, right? And that baby, that child, suck on her breast nipples. Eventually, she will give milk to that child.
Oh, yeah. That's what they used to do with us, right? The nursing
mothers. Yeah. Because it's that attachment, it's a spiritual attachment and nourishment. That's that life. You understand? Even though she didn't give birth to that child or she wasn't pregnant, eventually by that child sucking it and those breast nipples, it will stimulate and activate the senses and cause you to produce milk. All right? So that's why the Most High said, what it says in the second verse?
Verse 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word.
See, desire the sincere milk of the word. This is the milk of the word. All right? In that literal, in that spiritual aspect. All right? Go ahead.
That ye may grow thereby.
That you may grow thereby. That's how you purify yourself. You got it?
Con.
All right? So let's go back.
Let me read 3.
Yeah.
Verse 3. If so by ye have tasted that the Most High is gracious.
All right? So you see that? All right, so let's go back to James, finish up James, and then we get to the last and final results of your faith.
Okay. What we at?
We in
10, right?
No, we in
James 4 and
14. 14. Read 14 again, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
James
Read
4,
out of
14.
James chapter 4, verse 14. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow.
You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. All right? None of us know what tomorrow is going to bring. Like I said, you might have your plans. I have my plans. We all have plans. What we're going to do. And you boast about it. I got to go to work tomorrow. My boss have to be at work tomorrow. All right? I'm going to do this tomorrow. All right? Go ahead.
For what is your life?
What is your life? You don't know what your life is what your life is. All right? Go ahead.
It is even a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanishes away.
Yeah, your life is a vapor. like a candle being blown up. All right, go ahead.
For that ye ought to say, if the Most High will, we shall live and do this or that.
That's what we have to say. The Most High will. All right, go ahead.
But now ye rejoice in your boasting. All such rejoicing is evil. Therefore to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin.
Check that out. See that? So therefore to him that knoweth to do good and doeth not, to him is sin. All right. So now the last and final result of your faith is your salvation. After you went through everything, the test of your faith, to see how you're going to endure, some on good ground, some on solid ground. All right. Yahushua showed the example of that too. And James is showing the same thing too. Now the final end result of it is your salvation. Now is a reward of your faith. All right. Let's go to the book of 1 Peter. All right. And let's start from the first verse. And we're going to end at this here.
1 Peter 1:1.
1 Peter 1:1.
We're reading out of 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia.
Now, who are these strangers that were scattered in those areas? Israelites.
That's right.
That's who he's addressing it to. Yes.
And the law it actually mentions about the Israelites born outside of the
Right.
Commonwealth of Israel.
And that's who he was addressing. He was addressing this because Peter was designated specifically to go to Israel, to the circumcised. Paul was sent to the uncircumcised of Israel. All right? So Paul is addressing to the Israelites that were scattered outside of Jerusalem. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 2. Elect.
See what he says? The elect. These are the elect of the Most High. All right? Go ahead.
According to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through the sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and the sprinkling of the blood of Hamashiach Yahushua, grace unto you and peace be multiplied.
Go ahead.
Continue. Blessed be the power and Father of our Adawan Hamashiach Yahushua, which according to his abundant mercy has begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Hamashiach Yahushua from the dead.
See? Again, to a lively hope. All right? Go ahead.
To an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of the Most High through faith unto salvation.
So you see that? Who are kept by the power of the Most High through faith unto what?
The faith unto salvation.
Unto salvation. Go ahead.
Ready to be revealed in the last time.
Go ahead.
Wherein ye greatly rejoice through now for a season, if need be. Ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations.
Yes, you're going to go through manifold temptations. Go ahead.
That the trial of your faith.
See, that the trial of your faith. Go ahead.
Being much more precious than of gold that perishes.
See, that the trial of your faith being much more precious than of gold. Go ahead.
Though it be tried with fire.
Read a part. Read again from 7. Yeah.
That the trial of your faith being much more precious than of gold that perishes.
Because gold perishes.
Though it be tried with fire, might be found under praise and honor and glory to the appearance of Hamashiach Yahushua, whom having not seen ye love, in whom thou now ye see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory.
This is the final result of everything. Go ahead.
Receiving the end of your faith.
See, receiving the end of your faith. Go ahead.
Even the salvation of your soul.
And that's what you want, the salvation of your souls.
All praises.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 10, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesies of the grace that should come unto us.
See, of which salvation the prophets have inquired. They inquired of this thing, man, way back then. And now we're going to see the end results of it. All right, go ahead.
Searching what or what manner of time the spirit of Hamashiach, which was in them, did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of Hamashiach, and the glory that should follow, unto whom it was revealed, that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things, which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Holy Spirit sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into.
Check that out. Now, you see what it says here? It says, unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you, which unto you with the Holy Spirit sent down from heaven. So when the apostles and the prophets received this, it was by the Holy Spirit. They didn't get this by just on their own accord. Okay, we're just going to write this here. A bunch of old men got together and wrote the Bible. No, it was done through the Spirit of the Holy Spirit of the Most High.
And they're also saying that they were preaching the gospel. So the gospel actually came before Yahweh actually spoke.
They were preparing the way, and Yahweh brought the fulfillment of it. All right? It says, and unto you with the Holy Spirit sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into. What does that mean? When it says the angels desire to look into this, what does that mean?
The angels want us to get the kingdom.
Right, and the angels are amazed at this thing to see how we're going to receive this salvation. Because the angels don't need no salvation. But we need it. So the angels looking into this thing like, wow, we got to see this thing in the end. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 13, wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind.
See, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind. Go ahead.
Be sober and hope to the end of for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Hamashiach Yahushua, as obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lust in your ignorance.
So you see that? All right, not fashioning yourself according to the former lust in your ignorance. And that's how you purify your minds also too. All right, go ahead.
Verse 15, but as he which has called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation, because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. And if ye call on the Father, who without respect of person judges according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear. For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things.
We're not going to be redeemed with corruptible things. All right? So Peter got this idea, when we go into the kingdom, when we leave up here, we're not leaving here with no corruptible thing, man. All right? Not even our corruptible body's going to enter into the land. All right? Go ahead.
Reparations.
Yes. It might come in the fashion of gold. We're going to use that and melt it down and purify it. But we're not taking no George Washington dollar bill with us. Hell no. We're not taking that filth. Yeah, we might take the gold and the silver and the precious metals, yeah, because you could always melt it, purify that stuff. But we're not taking no damn green dollar bill with no homosexuals on it.
That's right.
All right? Dead presidents, yeah. All right, go ahead.
For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things as silver and gold from your own vain conversation, received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of Hamashiach, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world.
So he was foreordained before the foundation of the world. Go ahead.
But was manifest in these last times for you.
And he was manifest for us in these last times for us. Go ahead.
Who by him to believe in the Most High, that raised him up from the dead and gave him glory, that your faith and hope might be in Yahweh.
And that's where our faith and hope might be in the Most High. All right? Go ahead.
who by him do believe in the Most High, that raised him up from the dead and gave him glory, that your faith and hope might be in Yahweh, seeing ye have purified your souls in obeying the truth through the Spirit unto unfeigned love of the brethren.
So you see that's another way of purifying. You see that, Dara? See another way of purifying here? Read again.
Seeing you have purified your souls in obeying the truth through the Spirit unto unfeigned love of the brethren, seeing that ye love one another with a pure heart, fervently.
That's the key right there, man. To love your brother, man, and your sisters, man. Heartily, man. Fervently, man. All right? That's the key to. That's one of the keys to the kingdom too.
That's right.
All right. Go ahead.
Verse 23. Being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by the word of Yahweh, which liveth and abideth forever.
That's right. The word of the Most High is going to abide forever. Go ahead.
Verse 24. For all flesh is as grass, and all the glory of man as the flower of grass. The grass wherewith and the flower thereof falleth away.
Right. So it said the grass withereth, and the flower thereof faileth away. Go ahead.
But the word of the Most High endureth forever.
But the word of the Most High endureth forever. All right. Go ahead.
And this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Shalom.
Hallelujah.
End the class. Shalom.
Shalom.
So that's the end result.